And welcome back to the Metal Gear Speedrunners European Extreme Tournament. I am your host covering for this matchup between Spartyy and ApacheSmash. I am joined by Major Zero, who, as you may be familiar with, we just raced each other in the last race. So hats off to you, Major. I know, like we were just talking in the backstage, we both had a pretty interesting run. Maybe some better than others in terms of boss fights or whatever, but it was certainly interesting.
Definitely. I think we were both playing a little bit out of our comfort zone. We both definitely made some uncharacteristic mistakes, like Apache said. Unfortunate hand dealt, but I think we did good considering the circumstances. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I really felt bad about your Fury fight, and I don't know, I really got triggered on Warehouse 2. Like, I don't know why I was getting caught, and I was like cursing at my TV, and I was like, are you freaking kidding me?
How many continues was that in Warehouse 2? I think I saw 2 at least.
It was 3.
3? Oh, that's rough, man. And I saw your end. I glanced over and I saw you in the hut TNTing yourself.
Yeah, like we talked about, I think it was like I didn't set it up right, or I was just a little too fast, and he didn't spawn behind the tree. And, you know, you have no choice but to TNT to reset it. Okay, so it looks like Spartyy got a little trigger happy with the load, so we're just double checking. So they're both ready. Major's counting them down. 5, 4, 3, 2, and go.
And they're off.
All right. So
a little bit of a laggy start on Spartyy, but we are going to IGT, so it's no big deal.
Yeah, so I guess maybe we can kind of cover the background of these two runners. I mean, Apache, of course, follow at ApacheSmash on Twitter, as you may have heard several times. But like Major, also pretty good, pretty okay at the game.
I'm decent. I could take it or leave it.
I don't know. I just do memes. But then we got Spartyy, who has picked up the game somewhat recently. I mean, I know he's been running it for a while, but both different backgrounds for how they kind of came to this game, and and they both have the tools to really make this an interesting race. And as you saw in the last race, just about anything can happen in places you least expect. And of course, with the addition of the load remover, which I guess maybe Major, we can kind of briefly talk about what that is, since it's kind of like a different way of how the run is timed, at least from just like individual runs.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so the original intent for the tournament was that every race would use the load remover, but we had some complications. So this race is going to be going to IGT, but all the other races, we're going to be using the load remover. The best way to look at the load remover is effectively RTA without loads. So what it does is it looks at the camo index in the top right of the screen, which is always visible during gameplay and always bright. And it also looks at a screen region in the bottom right and a screen region in the center of the screen to see if it's dark or light. If it is either or, and the camo index is not visible, then the only possible option is that the game is loading, and so the autosplitter component automatically pauses the timer. It is just a live split component. We don't have any modified consoles or games or anything like that. It's just looking at a video feed, and that's all it's doing. Nice key point about it is that it won't pause the timer during the caves because, like I said, the camo index is going to be visible at that point, so it'll keep it from pausing the timer. So yeah, we don't have to worry about any sort of false timer pauses.
Yeah, because I guess the reason why I bring that up is some may have noticed that the loads on my console, as you know, Major, they're pretty effed.
Oh yeah,
but it still gives me a good context of, with regards to the load remover, like it kind of gives me an idea like how bad the loads really are when it comes to like trying to pull that number apart from what the load remover kind of detects as like, okay, this is IGT. And this is what the load remover detects as loads, which really does give you an eye-opener. But anyways, so not a whole lot going on with Virtuous, just kind of taking out guards as you see him and then firing a ricochet to the first of many 200 IQ guards throughout the run. Yeah, I'm sure that guy is definitely on top of it. But one thing other people may have noticed is that Apache is running this on Japanese. whereas Spartyy, I believe, is running this on English. So I guess maybe any kind of minor differences between running this on one over the other in terms of speedruns.
It is, the vast majority of it is just preference. It really does not make a big difference for the actual speed of your run. There will be minor differences. Obviously, it's in a different language, so the sounds are different. Your audio cues might change because we do use guard noises as audio cues sometimes, and they're lines of dialogue. So some of those are going to change. Some of them are a little bit shorter, so you might have to account for that. Things like that. But the biggest difference is in two places. One in the cell. Johnny, because his dialogue is shorter, he comes about 2 seconds faster to open up the cell door. So you save 2 seconds there. And then you lose 9 seconds in the credits because Ocelot's speech is 9 seconds longer. So it's not a big difference, but some people care about that.
Yeah, I thought there was another one where I thought Apache was telling me something about, like, in Mountain 3, when you fire off the shot, the guy on the radio has a slightly shorter dialogue time.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, because I remember when he was training me on the one of the I'm No Rookie episodes, he was explaining that since I was running it on English, it would be best to learn it there since you get a slightly longer line towards the end. Which, either way, I mean, it's still an unforgiving place to get caught, as is a lot of others. But I definitely look forward to seeing what these guys are going to be capable of throughout this run, because the last run I did, there were some places where, like Bolshaya, I intended to play it safe. I didn't want to risk a continue at all, knowing how bad my loads are. But there were places where I don't think either one of us expected to run into issues.
Yeah,
and it's definitely going to be interesting. So right now it's pretty much anybody's run. I don't think I've noticed any kind of big shifts just yet. I mean, again, maybe just minor differences in, the loads. Since Apache is running on New Game, while Spartyy is on New Game Plus.
Yeah, Sparty's going to save a little bit of time on him, particularly in the fear. He can use the Patriot to kill him instead. It saves about 7 seconds overall, so it's going to save a little bit of time there. There's also a few faster strats, like at Volgan, you can use the SVD instead of the Mosin, for example. Actually, no, you can do that anyway. Never mind, ignore me.
Well, like, you could use the Patriot on Volgan, like, as a backup measure if you run out of ammo with the SVD, but it does come in handy for cheesing the fear. And I guess unrelated, now I know D-Limes did these layouts because of my name in the comment bracket. Oh, D-Limes.
So it looks like both of our racers have nailed the tough roll in Triamushi North. That's good. This is where the real run begins. This is where the real chance to fail goes up. So,
yeah, getting that first roll by that tree is very specific, and continues in rooms like this are just as aggravating as anywhere else. And then especially with this rope bridge double roll that Apache's about to do. So he'll roll off this top ledge here, and then a second roll to get into a relatively blind spot between you and the guard. You can actually do a third roll on that rope bridge, but I will never do it. It's very risky. You either get on the bridge and maybe save, I don't know, maybe like half a second.
I actually timed this one. Would you like to know exactly how much it is?
I would like to know.
0.47 of a second.
Well, if you want that time save, I mean, the roll is yours to make.
Which is 28 frames.
I don't know, man. It's like, I was joking about this on a stream of mine where it's like, if the run ever got to a point where you had to do like crazy maneuvers like that to separate you from like first and second place, I don't know if I would ever envision like that being the standard. I mean, it just seems like ludicrous, like, such a tight roll, which, like you said, it saves you less than half a second, but you lose maybe 15 to 20 times that amount if you fall in the river.
Oh yeah, it is not a fun continue, that one. So we see both racers going into Ocelot unit now. They're pretty close together so far. I'm sure you guys, they explained this last race, but I'll explain it again anyway. First step of Ocelot unit, we're going to put the Mark 22 on and shoot this guard through the window. It's going to be a body shot. That's really important because we don't want this guard to fall asleep too early. It'll get the attention of the guards at the wrong moment, and they'll give you an alert. And then now it's mostly managing... ooh, that's a whiff from Apache. on that guard. He needed to body shot him, but he actually hit the gate just behind him, which makes the guard instantly turn towards Snake. And he was able to see him and give him that alert. So that puts Spartyy in the lead at the moment. Spartyy going for that roof guard. Need to take him out so we don't get an alert. He's going to do a long shot over this. Oh yeah, I forgot he does this a little bit weird. He takes out the southern guard after the main guards in the hall.
Oh, that's interesting.
And oh, he went for it but didn't get it. You might have seen him going for those third-person shots there. You can actually instantly headshot a guard in third person there, but it's not random, but kind of inconsistent. Unfortunately, he didn't get it, so he just planted a couple extra shots in him. Oh, there you go. Apache got it.
Yeah, I don't think I got it during our race. Like, I had to do a second follow-up shot. It's just something about where that guard that's, like, off-screen is sort of, like, he lowers his head a little bit when he notices you, and he walks forward, and Snake's aiming stance lines up with that head if you're lined up just right. But if you're on a slight angle or just out of position, then it's not going to really lock on nicely. But it's super cool if you get it, you know, just for, like, that extra swag, and it's fast.
Yeah, definitely. It's kind of a precise place where you have to stand. It's not a whole lot of margin.
But for now, Spartyy, you know, just like that. I mean, it's an early swing, but as we both know, Major,
yeah,
there's still lots of stuff to go.
Oh yeah.
Also, that dive underneath that crocodile is it's very Monka-esque. Oh, and I
Yeah,
know Apache does it too.
You go to a little bit more to the east when you do it, don't you?
I don't know. I have a bad run-in when it comes to the swamp. For those that remember when I ran one of these one time, and the lesson was don't read chat and swim in the swamp, or else you'll swim into an alligator and have a really fun experience seeing what happens.
Yep. So you might have just noticed both runners curing the leech. It's a little bit faster to go ahead and let the leech attach to you and then cure it with the cigar. Ooh, that's scary, Spartyy. And he knows he doesn't have enough time. That's good awareness. So what happened there?
He has to reset the room.
Spartyy missed the roll into the crawl on the fence so he could go under it. And he accidentally stood next to the fence for a couple of seconds. And if you do that, you're not going to have enough time to make it at the end of the room. There's going to be a guard who's going to see you, or the dog will see you, either or. And both of those are really bad. So it's good awareness that you recognize that situation.
Like that, I mean, it's even again, practically.
Neck and neck. Both players going for the same strat of shooting the gun after you roll. Some find it a little more consistent. I find it better to shoot early, but hey, teach their own. So what that does is when you shoot the wall near the dog, it makes the dog bark, which gets the attention of a guard at the end of the room, moves him out of our way for us. And now they're going to get the attention of this guard here with the box. And that creates a nice clean line for them to get out. There's going to be one more dog, but if movement's good, he shouldn't see you. Perfect.
Both good follow-up rolls through that fence. It may be hard to discern when people watch this, like, when is the right time to roll, and especially if it's on Japanese text. But basically, you're waiting for our guard to say, who was that? And as soon as, like, the vocal to me is finished, I roll immediately. And the window to actually do that is very small. And as we saw from Sparty's end, I mean, even making a mistake at the very beginning, the room time forgiveness is, like, non-existent. I mean, any mistake you make in that room is, like, gonna give you a continue. But I mean, we're neck and neck right now. This is interesting.
Oh yeah,
we got Ocelot.
So Ocelot, there's a loop for Ocelot. Opens up with a shot to keep him in place to stop him from moving, and then some stun grenades will one, stun him, which does stamina damage, and two, keep him in place again, so you can plant some more Mark 22 shots on him. And you can alternate between those a couple of times, then shoot the Markor, which will distract him, make him look backwards, and you can plant some more headshots on him during that time. It looks like Apache had a really good Ocelot, and Spartyy is struggling. He lost the loop about midway, I think, around the second stun grenade. But he's making a good recovery. He's not taking too much damage. The thing about Ocelot is, if you lose the loop early, it's really easy to die. And
he got the little cutscene. Yeah, so that's going to send him back a little bit. And especially in the case where it happened to me in the last run, where my Ocelot fight was completely scuffed, and I lost so much health that I knew going into the pain was going to put me at risk. Where the life med that's there is really your only way out if the bees attack you. I mean, I was hoping my smoke would stop the bee swarm from going over, but I don't know. But still, this is still anybody's race. Just for those watching.
Oh yeah. Oh, it is not over yet. We've already changed lead 3 times now. So both runners are going to be going into the pain soon. One small difference. Well, I guess it could be a big difference depending on how you look at it. With the pain on English versus JP. For some reason, the pain, the smoke grenade doesn't always block the bee swarm that he throws at the beginning of the first phase, and sometimes they can break through the smoke grenade and still hit you, and that is basically a death sentence on JP. So let's hope that doesn't happen. We're going to see how both racers handle the pain just now. Going into the fight, of course, you're going to need smoke grenades and grenades. So the pain. Open up with a smoke grenade, which is going to hopefully, like I said, stop those that first swarm of bees from attacking Snake. And you can use that opportunity to get a couple of headshots. Just like that. Good early shot from Apache. And now a grenade to bring down his bee shield. And then after that, you can plant some headshots in him to finish phase 1. The Pain's hitbox for his head is kind of weird. You kind of have to aim for his chin more than his actual forehead or anything like that. But both runners are well accounted for that.
Yeah, I think it's like half of his head, what you might expect to be a hitbox. It's really ridiculous.
Definitely. And phase 2 is the same as the ending of phase 1. Throw a grenade immediately, which brings down his bee shield, and then you can plant some headshots in him to finish the fight. You might have noticed there the red bees flying around. Those are the main threat in phase 2, but on HD collection they aren't really a problem because for some reason, when the game runs at 60 FPS, the bullet bees just always miss you if you're in first person. No one really understands why the FPS does that, but hey, the upgraded change in FPS makes that fight a lot easier now, so we're thankful for that.
Yeah, so very good fight from Apache's end, and this is definitely an interesting race. I really didn't expect it to be this close this early. But then again, I mean, there's still a lot of things coming up. I mean, we got the warehouse, which seemed it got the best of both of us, at least on the way back. I don't know what it did to you on the way in, but we got the warehouse. You got the warehouse on the way back. The end. I mean, then of course there's the Fury. I mean, everybody's favorite. And of course, I say that with the utmost sarcasm because I do not like that fight during any good run I have. And I'm not alone in that thought. Trust me.
No one likes the Fury.
I'm sure there's somebody out there that says, no, but I like the Fury, smiley face.
I'm sure it's the guy who one-hit the Fury 30 years ago with a 1911. Just didn't record it. So, we see both runners. They're in the river now. You can take a precise line around these searchlights to make sure that they don't spot you. Even on European Extreme, they're really not a threat. You just got to take a good line, and they'll make it through every time.
Yeah, I think when I was learning this river, it was referred to me as you're riding the wall, sort of, which is like you said, you're following a specific line pattern that will give you just enough wiggle room to kind of just sneak by.
Yeah.
And
yeah, definitely.
And I guess maybe it was mentioned in the last race, but on New Game Plus, you have the opportunity to use certain face paints, such as the brown face paint, which doesn't give you infinite oxygen, but it just decreases the drain rate really significantly, meaning I don't have to surface for air as often as both of these runners had to. But it's sort of a trade-off. I mean, you either get an extra menu or you just don't have to surface. So they're blowing up the barrels at the docks more than just clearing out the guards, but it's going to damage the end early. For those wondering, you actually can kill the end here. Unfortunately, you need to get the SVD in a separate area before going in here first, which not only would violate the Foxhound rank, but you would lose the Moz and Nagan opportunity, which is really too precious of a weapon not to get. And it just takes too long. So the damage taken by the barrels will carry over from when these guys meet up with him later.
Clean Warehouse 1 from Apache. Oh, and it looks like Sparty's having some issues. Oh, no.
Oh!
He missed that first roll over the railing. That railing roll, that first roll, it can be pretty tricky. If you miss that, you do not have a lot of time. It's possible, if you miss it once, and you get it the second time, it's possible to save it. But I think Spartyy didn't want to go for that, and instead he opted for the continue. Well, he opted to shoot the guard, missed, and then had to take the continue. At that point, the room is done. There's nothing you can do to save that. That's very unfortunate to see.
Yeah, I mean, as much as I hate taking continues personally, but there are certain rooms such as this where, you know, it really is kind of like the only way to try to salvage whatever time loss you might get. Otherwise, trying to, I guess, like, fight your way out of rooms like that is, I don't know what's the word for it, but it's kind of like I guess like it's just a miserable struggle. Because like you're trying to clear the room so you can leave, but then you got the SWAT team that comes in, and it just turns into a cluster F.
Indeed. Spartyy is opting not to go for his usual strat of shooting the guard he just headshotted, shooting him in third person multiple times with body shots. I suspect that's because yesterday, when Apache and Spartyy did an impromptu race, that actually cost Spartyy a continue. He shot the wall, the dog heard it, alerted on him, and then had time to alert the other guards in the room before he left. So taking the safe approach and just headshotting the guard instead. It's a couple seconds slower, but much, much safer.
Something really odd about that scientist. I mean, I don't think the bandana gives it away, right?
Nah, that's normal. What, do you not... I don't get what you're getting at, Joe. That's normal.
I don't know. I mean, I know the guards don't really care, but the scientists are just kind of like, that guy over there is pretty sus.
He's the new guy. Don't mess with Jimmy.
Yeah, I mean, look at that. I mean, he's already he's making his presence known. He's like, hey, man, I'm the new doc around here. I don't wait for anybody, so I'm just going to bump into you.
He's asserting his dominance.
Yeah, well, and he's also trying to prevent him from spotting you, because the scientists will kind of squint, and if they're looking head-on, they can give you an alert for a continue screen. But if you're either facing away, or in this case, you just bump into them to kind of interrupt their vision for a little bit, that's also enough time to get you through.
Yep. And the lab exit is pretty simple. It's mostly walking to the end. There's not a whole... It's pretty trivial with the scientist outfit on. Coming out of Grannon, however, there is a guard and a scientist who will alert on you if you don't do a little bit of special tech. You'll see Sparty's going to be doing it now. He's going to come out this door and equip the box at a particular moment, which does two things. It gets the attention of that guard and basically makes him not alert on him. And resets the scientist's AI. So the scientists and mechanics later on will never alert on the box, no matter how long you stand in front of them.
Wait, did Spartyy already grab the SIG spray?
Yeah, he grabbed it on the way in.
Okay, yeah, I thought it was a little weird, because I think it's like most people tend to get it like on the way out versus the way in.
Yeah, it doesn't make
really
a big difference.
Yeah, I mean, it just changes maybe like where some of the guards and scientists may be in the room, since it's like it's like a dynamic patrol as soon as you load in. Then you'll notice Apache has swapped to the animals camo, which is acquired normally by beating the Ocelot boss fight non-lethally. It's awarded to you at the bottom of the caverns that you dive into when that fight is over. It gives you steady aim regardless of what your stamina level is, which is very valuable. It also gives you good camo index for when both of these guys will be in the mountain section later this run. And the beauty of the animals camo, in addition to getting steady aim, is that you will never have to menu in for food items, so you never have to feed, which is also just as good, because every bit of menus you do adds to your IGT, as well as a lot of other things. Wait, he's not really dead?
And that was the fear.
Outplayed by a lot.
We're gonna see two vastly different fear strats here. Obviously, you just saw Apache do the fear. He did the new game strat because he's on new game. So what he had to do is he ran up to that trap, did the normal fake death pill stun grenade thing, and then activated the trap himself, which the fear was standing in the way of. So when the trap was activated, it killed the fear. Stun grenades turn all damage into non-lethal damage and remove all of the fear's iframes, so the traps can kill him really quickly that way. Instead, Sparty's on New Game Plus, so he's going to opt to just fake death pill as soon as the fight starts, do the typical stun grenade thing, and just shoot him with the Patriot. And we see...
got caught in the warehouse!
Warehouse has given everyone trouble today. Everyone is having trouble in warehouse today. I'm very interested to see if the curse continues with Spartyy. I hope not, I'll be honest with you, but I don't know, man.
Oh,
no, again! Oh, he got caught on the corner.
Oh, dude, the roll was... I thought the roll was short, but yeah, the box can also get you in trouble if you're too close turning the corners. All right,
the box has a very large
opportunity to make up some time here. So he's going to get a guard to notice him with the box, jump over to the second one. And then... Oh, wait, no! Everybody got caught in Warehouse 2 today.
We are 4 for 4! We are 4 for 4!
Oh my god, dude, what is up with this game, Major? Why is it
cursed? Oh no, he did the exact same thing! He did the exact same thing! They both did the exact same thing twice. They both either missed that first, or excuse me, the shot on the box headshot, or were just too late with a bad line. And then, immediately following, they got caught on the box when they had the cardboard box on. So the cardboard box has a huge hitbox. If you try to take a corner too tight, you'll just get stuck on the wall and you won't go anywhere. It's really annoying when it happens. You got to be really careful with your movement in the box. But hey, we finally got out, right? I'm really happy.
Oh man, I really feel so bad for all of us today. This warehouse hates us all. But hey, I mean, at least we could say that nobody had a pleasant trip in the warehouse in today's 30 matchups. But you know, hopefully it'll prove to be maybe less of an issue going forward. At least I hope so, since I'll be in the lower bracket.
I hope we have no more issues. So we just saw Apache doing a little bit different strat. He used the smoke grenade to give him silent footsteps, just like he did previously in the game at the beginning of Operation Snake Eater, to walk past that guard. It's personal preference. Really doesn't make a big difference. You can use footsteps, you can do a roll, or sorry, you can silence your footsteps, or you can do a roll, whatever you like. I think that Sparty's going to do the roll. We're going to see, aren't we?
Looks like it.
Oh, no. He does the grenade as well. All right. Perfectly valid. So, going into the end. Going to open up with 4 Mark 22 headshots on the... Or, sorry, 3 Mark 22 headshots on the end. Try to get as much damage as you can on him. This damage is super critical. Unfortunately, Apache got some really low damage. He's gonna have to chase the end around a little bit at the end of the fight. But now he's gonna run to this specific point in the map and do 6 punch kick combos. And the purpose of these is he needs to buffer 25 seconds, and these combos basically are perfect for that. Then he's going to throw a smoke grenade in between him and where he knows the end is going to go to, make some noise by shooting his gun, which makes the end teleport to a specific point based on where Snake is standing. Now, Apache and Spartyy know exactly where that's going to be, so Apache's just going to run straight to where the end is going to teleport to. And do some... Sorry.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
He's going to do some stamina damage on him with the 6 spray and some punches. And then hold him up, which gets him down on the ground. And now we're going to do what is effectively the traditional loop on the end. Try to get as much stamina down on him as we can, so we can finish the fight in the northwest part of the room. Alternating between stun grenades and smoke grenades to keep the end in place, so we can do as much damage on him as we can.
Okay, it looks like Sparty's...
Are both runners down?
Frozen?
Okay.
Hold on, I'm trying to
Apache did for a moment, too.
Yeah, like, I know Apache was lagging a little bit, but I'm just gonna see if maybe I can find a direct feed, see where they are. Okay, well, it looks fine on... Or actually, no, it's frozen on Sparty's as well. And then Apache's is... Yeah, Apache's looks fine. It's just, I don't know, Sparty's looks like it froze up. So I don't know if we should do like a pause here, see if maybe we can try to recover it.
I am not sure what the best option for this is. Apache is paused at the moment. All we can really do is hope that Spartyy is paused. Otherwise, if he's still playing, then Apache's just losing time right now.
Let's see.
Okay, we have word from Spartyy. He got an OBS error.
Hmm.
We're going to quickly change Spartyy over to a different MGSR stream. So let's take it to intermission, Joe.
All right, so we're just gonna pause the timer temporarily until we can get this sorted out. So please bear with us, and we'll be right back. Okay, so it looks like we have it back.
We've got.
Let's see. I guess maybe just ask them to move both their menus just to make
Something's
sure.
not right. Apache's not in the end anymore. He's paused at the moment, so I'm not sure what we're seeing.
Okay,
We're seeing.
yeah,
I think we took off Apache. We've got Spartyy on twice.
All right, yeah. Let me fix that. So just a second. Okay, so we are back. We had to get our tech overlords to help us out on this one. So shout outs to Chusa for saving the day once again when it comes to the tech. So we are going to resume the race. Both of these guys are ready. And it's going to resume in 3, 2, 1. And they're off again. Gotta love technology, Major Zero.
Indeed. But hey, we're good, and we're going. We are off again. So let's hope it doesn't have any more stalls on us. Anyway, we see Spartyy now in the loop, basically right at the end of the loop. He's going to run northwest because he knows exactly where the end is going to go, and he's going to meet him halfway and miss it. So the intended goal there was to stop the end in his tracks with the Sig Spray and finish the fight just there. However, he's going to have to try to recover it with the Mark 22. He can save the fight. He's going to have some nice shooting, though. What Apache likes to do in this case is, yes, this. He likes to shoot the Patriot to hopefully stun the end, and he has not got it. He just barely got it! That is the luckiest man in the world. And he finishes the fight without too much trouble. That is scary.
Oh my god.
So what happened there is, like I said, he's supposed to stop him in his tracks with the Sig Spray, and he just barely missed it. In the end, got to escape. And he stopped him he stopped the end in his tracks with the Patriot right at the last moment. I'm not sure if he knows this or not, but the Patriot, you can't lock on to the end at all with anything. Nothing will lock on to him. So you have to free aim that. What most people like to do is go into first person when that happens and manually aim it and stop him in his tracks. But Spartyy got super lucky with that third person shooting. Really glad that worked out. That could have been so much worse.
Yeah, and then meanwhile on Apache's screen, he was just giving Sol a brief message of what to do here, which I believe is just hold up.
I like to hold left and down.
And that makes you climb up.
Yeah.
I'll have to note that one down, but yeah, this is the highlight of the whole game, honestly. It's the world's tallest ladder. I mean, both of these guys climbing. I mean, I say this to people, when you start climbing the ladder, you know, and then you make it all the way to the end, you just come out as a different person on the other end, and... Oh no, did Apache's feed just froze now?
Yeah, a little bit, but...
Oh, wait, it's trying to catch up. Okay, yeah, keep in mind that both of these guys are running on the NA RTMP regional servers that we're using. So there is going to be, at least from Apache's end, I would imagine, some latency hiccups here and there. But yeah, hopefully we did get everything sorted out. But yeah, what was I saying? Oh yeah, the ladder. Yeah, you start the climb, you're injured, you got an arrow in your leg, you're starving. But then you come out as a different agent on the other side. Maybe you're just realizing, man, I just climbed that ladder like a boss. So, now we're in the mountains.
What a good transition. You know, that's the tallest boss. If you put all the other bosses together, the ladder would still be taller. Did you know that?
So I guess when, at the very end of the game, when there's only room for one snake and one boss, then I guess maybe they meant the ladder secretly.
That's what I think, yeah.
So you'll notice... Or, I'm sorry, go ahead, Major.
No, I'll let you explain it.
Alright, sure. So, you're going to be seeing the use of the cardboard box here, since there's going to be a lot of these, you know, peaks and little, like, craters. As you can imagine, the terrain is not suitable for movement, so the box is going to give you steady speed, regardless if you're going up or down, but it's mostly from when you're going up on inclines like this. While at the same time, it's used to bait one of the guards forward that's just above where you enter. And at the same time, you do a series of rolls just to kind of get yourself along the wall so that other guards will not see you or hear your footsteps as you approach. And Apache doing a very aggressive but hilarious, when it's done right, where he uses the M19 to just stagger that guard so that it will stop his alert from happening, sending him to his somewhat untimely end, which, correct me if I'm wrong, but I guess if you kick a guard into the abyss, it doesn't count as a kill?
Oh yes, Spartyy used his last shot on the end to finish the fight, and he needs one going into the next room, so he's trying to grab some ammo from this guard here. Unfortunately, he just tanked that alert. I think the best option in this case for Spartyy would be to fall back to the 1911 and do that shot on the guard lethally instead, but I think he's stuck on Foxhound strats.
Yeah, because at this point for both of these guys, you know, Foxhound is definitely long gone. For those wondering, like, how you get it, it's basically being the game without, you know, kills, alerts, continues, any life meds used, as well as beating it within 5 hours, which, you know, they're more than capable, but it's, for me, the alerts are usually the first thing to go when it comes to losing the rank. Alright, so here he is again, trying to... Oh, yeah, so, like, yeah, maybe he's listening secretly. He's just saying, you know what? I already lost the rank. I'm not gonna get another continue again. I need this ammo. The end.
Oh no, and Apache is reverting to some backups as well, and he takes a continue on Mountain 3! This, you know, Apache has been having some major issues on Mountain 3 lately, although this is the first time I've ever seen him make quite this mistake. Normally the issue is the last guard will see you while you're boxing up the final hill, but in this case, he saw him, like, right at the wrong moment and started walking up to him. I'm not sure exactly what Apache was going for. It looked like he was trying to headshot the guard, which would have given him alert anyway. I think the best option would have been to either put your suppressor on and headshot him, or shoot the barrels. But it looks like Apache's probably going to make it out scot-free this time. Yeah, he does. Very good. We see the same Mountain 2 strat that Spartyy did, or excuse me, same Mountain 2 strat from Spartyy that Apache did. This is a few seconds faster than what would normally be done, where you stand still and shoot a bunch of guards. But,
oh, good backup CQC slam. Yeah, I think he was trying to do, like, that shoot and roll knockout. Which, of course, for those that play on the PS3 or anything that has pressure sense, you know, it's all fun in games until pressure sense kicks in at the wrong time. What is
Spartyy doing?
I'm not sure exactly. It looks like
the guard in the back didn't see him. Okay, he was trying to back up. The guard in the back did not see Spartyy when he did that roll. So instead he had to shoot him. Good backup. Good awareness. He knew that guard was going to call in guards.
Yeah, it's very important you enter Mountain 3 without a caution timer in place because it drastically changes where all the guards are in that room. So instead of it being a, you know, kind of like a, you know, really scary, you know, roll into a distraction shot, it then turns it into like something else completely different. And honestly, I don't really know how to save it when it's in a caution. I just don't know what the movement's like. But
I don't think you really can. Yeah. Maybe you can. But we see Spartyy doing another backup on Mountain 3. He got he got noticed at the wrong moment and laid down. Very safe to take those shots. Now we see Apache going into the Fury. Something we didn't comment on earlier is that after the Fear, he never cured the poison from that bolt. So he has currently been poisoned the entire time, and he has 1 HP, which means during the Fury fight, if he even looks at fire the wrong way, he is dead. There is nothing you can do. If you get hit or stand on fire in the wrong way, you will die instantly. So the Fury has escaped him. This is very unfortunate. This is going to revert to a casual fight, which is extremely risky if you have 1 HP. This is not where you want to be if you're doing 1 HP Fury. It's a very high level strat. So the normal Fury loop is to shoot him and knock him down as soon as the fight starts. Get him to shoot at you, at which point he will try to jump away after that. And then basically repeat that process as many times as you can until the Fury is dead. Unfortunately, Apache didn't even get 1 cycle out of it. He knocked him down, and the Fury pretty much instantly ran away. But he's saving it pretty well. Nice, clean fight. Good backups. He stayed to the south, as you're meant to. Took long-range shots, and the Fury sort of behaved after jumping away. Got into a good position where Apache could get some shots and finish the fight cleanly.
Yeah, so this is going to give Spartyy possibly a chance to make up some ground here. As from the last race, people may have noticed, Major had a pretty rough time with the Fury, and it's just the way the fight is. I mean, he hates everybody equally, is what I like to tell, you know, when I get a clean fight versus like an absolutely outrageously bad fight the next attempt I go up against him. But this, I love that. It's scary, but I love it when people go for that ledge grab. All right, so again, we want him to go, I think he said south, which to me is on this side, which he is. So he's going to bait out an attack. He's going to do the jetpack charge, or he didn't do one, but he did get a few hits in. Now he's going to do another charge.
Yeah, he got away from him.
Oh, he missed!
Okay, he is going
so he said it. All right, that's a good choice. It is very hard to recover that fight, as you just saw from Apache's feed, and honestly, when it's this early into the fight... Oh, hello! I don't think I've ever seen him spawn there before. And Fury is doing what he does best, always keeping things interesting. Oh, he got hit around the corner!
Oh, no!
Oh, jeez.
This is turning into one of those fights. Oh, and Apache takes a continue doing MS Rykov. So what happened there? So MS Rykov is a pretty risky strat. Very surprised to see him going for this in a tournament. But you can shoot this guard to the east in the leg, which will get the attention of Rykov, because these two guards are for some reason telepathically linked to Rykov. This guard is telepathically linked to Rykov. So when he goes into caution, so does Rykov. And you can do some fancy movement and shots on the wall to make Rykov go to a specific position. Apache got stuck on the corner of the wall with the box on, just like he did in Warehouse 2, which delayed him just enough to miss that shot and not have enough time to meet Rykov where he's meant to, so he got to continue. But we see Spartyy out of the Fury at last. A very rough fight for Spartyy. That is not looking good.
The only one that actually had somewhat of a decent Fury fight today. Because, I mean, it sort of looks like that. I mean, again, this just goes to show, I mean, Warehouse 2, 4 for 4. Fury, I guess 3 for 4. I mean, mine wasn't exactly clean, but this is just MGS3 in a nutshell. You don't know what the hell's going to happen.
It is such an unpredictable game. This game can do anything to you at any moment.
You know, that outfit looks a little bit sus with the arrow in the leg. I mean, do you think these guys are going to suspect a thing when Apache goes in? I mean, that's totally Rykov, right?
Uh-huh. That's what he's always looked like.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, he just gives the good old salute, doesn't say a word, and they just say, oh, right this way, sir. And also, I love this part on Sparty's screen where he's just going through as a box. I mean, it's just nothing out of the ordinary here, just a box. Now I'm curious if what Spartyy will do here, since Apache tried doing the multi-segment.
I think he's going to go for the same strat, and he does. So we get another clean picture of MS Rykov. He has an opportunity to save quite a lot of time here, because Apache did take a continue. Right about here. Ooh. Oh no, okay, he's doing for sort of a hybrid. Very interesting. So what he did is sort of a variation of the normal smoke grenade strat, which is very safe. But instead of going for the fairly risky shot to make Rykov run to the western side of this room, instead he just waited with the box on and met Rykov as he was running, bumped into him with the box, which stunned him effectively, and dragged him to the end. Very safe. Good thinking. Good call.
You know, that actually isn't a bad way to do that. Especially since, like, there's the smoke method, that's like the common approach. Yeah. But I actually like what he did there. It's like you're basically doing the same thing, but you're just removing the smoke out of the equation. But it is a little bit riskier if you don't get that shot off at the right time, because the smoke is meant to cover that guard to see you, which I over-tossed it twice. But I actually like the way he did it, honestly. I may consider it for, like, future runs if it proves to be a, you know, further struggle for me.
Yeah, that definitely saved time over Apache with that strat. By the way, Joe, did you spy in Sparty's inventory the Cold War camo?
Actually, I don't know. Honestly, with everything that's going on, I don't know if I
think he's going to use it. He definitely has it. You think he's going to use it?
Well, if he were to use it, I can definitely think of a good segment or two that can benefit from it.
Yes, indeed.
You know, bike escape possibly. I mean, unless if he's feeling really frisky, he can wear it for the memes on, you know, the boss fight at the end. Which, of course, for those wondering why I equipped the zombie face paint, because I already knew that the run was kind of over in my book, so I just wanted to, you know, in the words of our fellow runner Apache, I was just having a good time, just playing for the memes. So now we just gotta break out of jail, doing the I guess conventional punch kick at the toilet, and then we're gonna spend, I think it's 11 times in the cure viewer, which is gonna cause Snake to and I'll just say, look away now if you're squeamish.
Ooh, very quick rat pickup. That's good. That rat can be a pain to pick up sometimes.
Yeah, so Johnny's gonna say, "Oh, what happened? Did you throw up?" And then he's gonna open up the cell for you. He's trying to be a bro, and then we quickly surprise him by saying, "Haha,
Yep.
I'm suddenly better again." And we just do a 2-punch, followed by a 3-punch. Not a kick, but you're just swinging the revolver instead of trying to mix it with the kick. Then we're gonna do the same thing as seen in the early section of the Snake Eater portion of the run, where you just hold the grenade up in the air so they don't hear his steps. And then we just hold left.
This seems strangely reminiscent of the latter. There needs to be Snake Eater playing in the background during this run. But like sped up 20 times so that it fits.
It's Prison Escape. We're trying to rip as best as we can, but I mean there is important stuff going on, such as this last room. So he's gonna have to throw a smoke right at that barricade area, which is gonna kind of interfere with one guard as well as another that's just gonna not really notice you.
Oh no, that is very unfortunate. That grenade looked good. What was that? I don't know what that was. That grenade looked like it was in the right place. So the goal here is to...
I wonder maybe it was like a little bit to the right.
Maybe a bit far left.
Or maybe it was a bit... Let's see, so...
That one looked a little far left. We'll see. I think it'll still work. But I thought the last one would work too. Weird. It only made it. So the goal here is to land that smoke grenade such that the guard on the right is inside of it, and it's in between you and the guard on the left, so he doesn't see you as you're walking by. Unfortunately, I think he just missed it.
But he made it. Smoke placement is pretty unforgiving. You know, it's kind of like what happened to me in the Eastern Weapons Lab. There's a lot of precision, you know, when it comes to things like this, and it may, because like I said, I also thought that smoky through was good, but all it takes is just a little smidge off, like one way over the other. Also, yeah, it may look like Apache fractured his leg, but I mean, look at him. He's running at full speed like it didn't happen. I mean, the guy's already injured. He's missing an eye. He had an arrow in his leg for, I don't know, like 20-plus minutes. I mean, sure, he's got to be fine. I mean,
hey, that was nice of Volgan to take out that arrow, though.
Yeah, I mean, how nice of him. Wait, who was that? I don't know, just some guy. But yeah, so I guess we've seen some interesting twists and turns despite the tech issue that we have with the RTMP feeds. But I mean, this is going back and forth, I don't know, like a handful of times already. And like I said, honestly, I did not expect it to be anywhere this close. Which again, I mean, right now the lead is favoring Apache, but you know, there's definitely some ground for Spartyy to make up some time here, starting with this room. Smo looks good. So he's gonna hug the right, then he's gonna throw another smoke at the dog, so that the dog.
What? I have never seen that in my life.
Oh wait, did the guard on the left see him?
Yeah, I have never seen that guard turn around. I did not know he could do that. What is this?
Alright, so he's gonna throw it a little bit. Oh, he saw him before he threw the smoke. Oh, this is not good. Oh, this is danger.
Okay, looks like he's out.
Wow, he just made it. Yeah, so if that guard on the left notices you before you throw that smoke, I think that puts you at risk of him turning around. I think that's maybe what happened, because that's happened to me, where I didn't throw the smoke, or I was just a little bit too close before I threw it. Man,
this game is scary, man.
It is. It's scary and cruel. It's fun to play, but on European Extreme, it does not mess around for anybody.
Yeah, really. Okay, so Spartyy is not... Oh, they're going to IGT, so I guess actually, technically, what Spartyy is doing is slightly faster. You might have noticed that for all of Escape, Apache had his cigar on, and then he killed himself with a grenade. That is very, very slightly slower than just drowning yourself during the Sorrow fight. And the reason for that is because the Sorrow fight does not count towards IGT. The game looks at what frame the fight started, and then resets the game frame counter to that once the fight ends. So effectively, none of the fight counts to IGT. And since this run is going to IGT, you definitely want to do effectively leaderboard strat.
Man, it's just truly amazing, like how things like that get figured out over the years. About like the sorrow fight not, adding to the timer unless if you make the mistake of hitting continue instead of the revive pill, which I'm sure everybody's done at some point.
Oh yeah, and that is not a fun way to go out.
Yeah, it's like, oh dude, I swear I held the left trigger down all the way. But anyways, as Spartyy gets to his sorrow segment, Patchy's going to be infiltrating Grazigrad a second time. And he's going to be equipping the Ostcam camo, which is pretty common, especially for new game runs, since it offers, I think it's either 30 or 33% damage reduction. I don't know what the exact number is, but like the sneaking suit that I used in my last run, it gives you half damage reduction, reduces injury possibilities, doesn't immune you from burns, as I found during bike segment. But the Ostcam camo really does come in handy just for the bike segment, as well as just good general camo cover. Which, of course, doesn't really matter as I'm talking because, I mean, the box just acts as your cover here.
So the reason this works is because when a guard notices his ally going down, his guard priority, his AI priority, goes to check on that guard before noticing certain environmental effects like the box, for example. So you can walk right in front of guards with the box on and they will be none the wiser. We do that in the the second room of Grazigrad, going in the first time just before the weapons lab, just before Rykov as well.
Man, and here I thought the guards were just demonstrating how good they really are when they just say, oh yeah, it's a moving box with legs, big deal. And then again, you're going to see where the box is going to come in handy for the maintenance tech, since they just don't really seem to care either way about, yeah, there's also a moving box with legs. I mean, they just don't seem to really prioritize the box at all. I don't know, maybe the box could be friendly. Might have something good inside it. I mean, he's carrying some C3, but... anyway, so he's just going to plan his last one. And then goes into the Vulcan fight, first of... I guess it's like first of 3. Well, I guess if you count the Shagohod parts. So
Cold War, let's go!
Oh, yeah. Now we're being stylish.
Now this is a race.
I approve.
So going into Volgan, we see Apache equipping the SVD. The strat for Volgan is to CQC shove him, and then, oh no, he's cooked it, and he's just going to opt to take a continue and redo the fight. Good call. This fight is not fun if you mess up phase 1 early, because you have to do so much damage on him. That 1 on its own takes a long time. 2 takes a lot of ammo, which means you probably won't have enough to finish phase 2. So as I was saying, CQC shove Volgan, and then shoot him in the back with the SVD as he's standing up. As fast as you can. You can get a lot of damage on him. You can actually kill him before he even stands up. Finish phase 1, I should say. And then he goes behind him, finish him off in the back. Like that, very nice. Phase 2, he's going to move forward, lay down to avoid his 360 bullet attack, and then shoot Volgan in between his iframes, basically. He's going to try to do some attacks on you, and you can catch him just before he gets to send those off and finish him off. Pretty quickly, just like that.
Oh, just gotta be careful of his ammo. Oh, there he goes. Yeah, in my run, I don't know if you saw Major, but I actually finished him off with the last bullet that I had, because I overspammed it at the end, which is something you never want to do, but it is, if you do have the ammo to spend and you want to try to end it quickly, you can just go hog wild with it, but you have to be very careful of your ammo usage there. But good recovery, just recognizing that, yeah, if you exceed his hitbox too early, it just changes the dynamic of the fight completely.
Oh, very interesting strats from Spartyy. I'm sorry to interrupt you, Joe, but we see very interesting strats from Spartyy. What he just did is he killed one of the mechanics, and what that does is it reduces the Shagohod's health when he gets to bike chase. So when he finishes Volgan and goes into the bike chase, you'll notice that the Shagohod's going to have a sizable chunk missing off its health before he's even shot it. That's a really optimal playing really safe if you're not confident in your ability to get the damage gap. And oh no!
Oh, we got stuck in the corner! Oh.
That's the other thing about killing the mechanics. If you're slow with it, and slitting a throat is quite slow, you do run the risk of those guards coming back into the room, seeing you just at the wrong moment.
Oh, jeez. But yeah, so I remember messing around with this when it came to the maintenance techs. And
I hope he doesn't go for that kill.
Yeah, there's a total of 6 in the hangar, and everyone that you take out will take out like a significant chunk of the Shacklehead's HP. But I think optimally, if you were to try to mix this in, I tried doing this in several different ways. I think I was able to get like 2 to 3. That didn't seem like that was out of the way. But if you do go for all of them, I mean, yeah, you're already going to get the most damage, but I mean, it does take a lot of time to find each one and, you know, kind of eliminate them. But, oh man, I was really kind of rooting for that strat. But anyway, so bike escape on Apache's end, just taking out the guards and dealing damage to the Shacklehead whenever you can. Meanwhile, Spartyy going up Volgan for his part. So he's going to do the grab, throw him down, swap to the SVD. He's going to hit him once, and then just bam as he stands up. Followed by... Oh, interesting enough. So he's going to use the M19 here? Oh, is he trying to conserve ammo?
Yeah, he definitely is, and it has not fared well for him. He has lost quite a lot of time in the phase 1 to that. That is very unfortunate to see.
Yeah, I mean, the M19 doesn't do nearly as much damage as most other weapons. I mean, even the Patriot is, like, just barely above, like, pistol damage, but it just has a incredibly fast fire rate.
And even with that ammo conservation, he finished the fight with only 2 bullets. That is scary.
Yeah, so I could respect him trying to be aware of his ammo usage, and I guess if, again, you know, you feel like there's a concern that you'll run out, you could try to mix it in during the fight, but yeah, fortunately it didn't quite work out as well. I think maybe he just did a little too early, because like his Volgan's like HP threshold's a little bit weird. You know, it's like you have to get him like just underneath 50, not exactly on 50, or at least it feels that way to me. Then you'll see Apache is having the life med equipped here. Even though the Oscam does provide some defensive protection, RPGs still hurt a lot. I think, Major, if I'm right in saying this, I think it's like if you get hit by the RPG twice, if you're like at full health starting this, like that's pretty much an instant KO, unless if you have the life med equipped. Definitely.
Even with Oscam, it is not fun to get hit by the RPG. I think it might still be a 2-hit kill. I'm not certain about that, even with Oscam on.
Yeah, because the beauty of Bike Escape is that your health regenerates concurrently throughout the entire thing, so you can get some reprieve of trying to get some health back. But as you can see, he's definitely playing this cautiously because, you know, again, Bike Escape, especially for a new game run, is definitely like a dangerous segment that you never want to take lightly.
However, we do see some slightly different strats between Spartyy and Apache here. Apache has been lethaling pretty much everybody with the RPG, whereas Spartyy has been mostly stun grenading people. I think he's been exclusively doing that, in fact. That is mostly preference, but it is a little bit faster to use the stun grenades if you're consistent with it, because the RPG creates quite a lot of lag. When the game when the game frame rate drops, the game slows down because it doesn't support frame skipping, so it has to wait for the next frame to be rendered. That's actually also why both runners are going to be looking up or down as much as they can during the whole of Bike Chase. They want to reduce lag as much as they can, because when the game slows down, you lose time.
Something tells me Volgan's going to tell us a bunch of stuff. Something about you're wasting your ammo, he didn't feel a thing. He'll grind you into dust, which I don't know what he says in Japanese, but you know, this is kind of like the comical moment of the run, where it's just you're trying to deal damage by aiming at that rectangular chassis, where you see like a little like red panel with the 2 bronze plates next to it. Every shot you do just takes a little bit of health off each shot you get. And problems I have with this is I tend to get way too trigger happy, and then the shots start aiming at the joints or the treads, which will then slow it down. then you'll lose damage potential because you'll have to wait for him to speed up again to start getting your shots in. But every little bit that you do does add up. And of course, Commentator's Curse strikes again. So as you can see, Shagahog got hit in one of the joints, so it slowed it down. Didn't feel your ammo. I don't know. I mean, I just enjoy it for what it is. I mean, he just spams a lot of stuff. I sometimes pay attention to it. Other times I don't, but... So for the C3 bridge, you can shoot 3 out of the 4 C3s in advance, and then just keep your crosshairs on the last one until the Shagahod shows up. And as a friendly warning, do not, and I'm going to say this, do not try to meme this with the pistol and then fire it early, because once upon a time, I actually threw away a Foxhound run because I tried to be fancy. It's definitely cool looking, but just approach it with caution when you're trying to meme that last C3 with the pistol. Alright, Shagahod won. I guess I could let you take over because I still haven't learned how to do this fight properly.
Sure. So what Apache did going into the fight is he used the Snake's aim drifting as a buffer, specifically because he wants to shoot the Shagahod at a specific moment. So when he sees a visual cue, that's when he's going to shoot the Shagahod's treads, which is going to hopefully lock the Shagahod into place, and it did. And wait for Eva to drive around back, shoot the Shagahod in the weak spot, and alternate between shooting the weak spot and shooting the treads. And that'll keep Eva behind the Shagahod for as much of the fight as possible, because if both the weak spot is damaged and the treads are stunned, then Eva will attempt to get behind the Shagahod and stay there, which is right where we want her to be. So as much time as we can keep both of those things stunned, the better. Right? So Apache has had a mostly alright loop, but he got the 1 pixel of health left on the Shagahod. That's not great. Still a pretty decent loop. You'll definitely take that in a run. The Shagahod got away from him just a little bit there towards the end, but it worked out well. So, phase 2 is more of the same thing. You're going to open up with a precisely timed shot on the treads to stop him in a specific place, which he knows exactly where that's going to be, and plant some shots in Volgan's face. 3 shots with the SVD will kill him, as opposed to 4 with the Mosin. This is a point where you can save some time doing non-Foxhound strats.
Oh, dude, he almost just hit Eva with that RPG shot. I don't know if he caught that, but like right as he fired that last one, she just like dodged it.
Yeah, she'll actually like run you over if you're not careful. She is not playing ball sometimes.
Yeah, she's done that to me before, and it's only when you like move forward after from when you first start. But yeah, you gotta be wary of Eva's, unpredictability in her driving in phase 1, unless if you're attempting the loop, and then sometimes her unpredictability in phase 2, where she'll just do a friendly drive-by and then run you over and just say, "Oh, sorry, Snake, just trying to help, give you free ammo." It's like, yeah, thanks for the tire tracks on my back. Alright, so more bike escape, more steering at the sky, save the frames, save some time, slow the lag down. Man, just imagine, Major, if one day we get this on PC, where it's, not only are the frames steady throughout the whole thing, but that even stuff like looking at environment doesn't just tank the game lag.
That'll be really nice, but even better than that will be the fact that we can have a real auto splitter. And the game time can be completely erased. It'll be completely irrelevant. That'll be super nice. So, we see now Sparty's going into the Shagahod fight. He's going to do the same thing that Apache did. He's going to go for the loop. Again, opening up with this precisely timed shot on the treads. He's going to shoot right about now. Very good. That shot landed. And the Shagahod is stunned in place, so now he's going to wait for Eva to drive around the back, hit the weak spot, and then shoot the treads. Nice. That'll keep the Shagahod in place and make Eva try to stay back there. And he's just going to alternate between shooting the weak spot and shooting the treads, hopefully to stay behind the Shagahod as much as he can now. And it looks like he has lost the loop. That is super unfortunate. What happened is the Shagahod turned just a little bit, just enough to make Spartyy miss that shot, but he got lucky and saved the loop. Let's go! It's really, really uncommon for the loop to resume after losing it, so I'm really glad that he nailed that. This is going to be some time save on Apache.
see. Meanwhile, Apache is just picking these guys off with the SBD, which I also approve because these guys are probably like the most annoying part of the run. Especially the one that just loves to fly above your head like this guy is trying to do. So it looks like Sparty's got maybe another 2 hits.
I think he's going to have the magic pixel just like Apache did. He's going for that tread shot, but he really needs to be going for that weak spot shot. He's had a lot of glancing shots that he had the opportunity to take, but he didn't.
Okay, not quite the pixel, but just a little sliver of health left. Oh, that is going to cost him.
Yeah, definitely. He needs to go for that glancing shot. He's going for the treads, but really he should be shooting that weak spot because you can actually hit the weak spot from the front of the Shagohod if you hit it at the right angle. And it's always worth it to go for those shots if you have no other choice right now, as he did in that position, in that case.
Yeah, the RPG splash is generously wide, but the hitbox of the Shagohod for its weak spot is kind of the picky part. Like, you can get the shot as close as you can get, but, you know, the Shagohod turns that the...
Saved it.
Wow, good recovery.
That's one of the advantages about using the SVD instead of the Mosin. For the Mosin, you'd have to recognize that you missed the shot on his head really early and quick reload, because the Mosin's a bolt-action rifle. It would take ages to rack that bolt and go in for another shot, but the SVD's semi-automatic, so you can just basically press square again and you're good. Really nice backup potential there. Recovery potential.
Or if you're really good or just, you know, flat out crazy, you could just do a no-scope finish like I did on my last hit.
Did you? Yeah, you go for that a lot.
I did. I mean, I already knew the run was over, and I felt pretty good about where my crosshairs were, and I was like, you know what, I'll try for the no-scope, just, I don't know, for some fun, and then, sure enough, I did get it, and I was like, yes. But you know what the real travesty in all this is that, again, for those that have watched me run this game, at this section where Apache is, there's a tendency for these bikes, when they go down, to go into, like, an infinite spin. Which I, you know, label them as like the 360 bike, because for whatever reason, if it tumbles and spins just the right way, it doesn't really collapse, it just kind of keeps spinning, and I have several clips of it throughout runs that I've done where I've just had it happen in different ways, including one where it actually makes the final jump with me briefly, and then it just disappears off screen. I don't know what it is. I mean, I don't know if it's possible on the PS2 version, on HD edition. It just seems to be a weird phenomenon that is not really beneficial to your run, but it's just one of those amazing sights to behold.
Apache going for some funny shots on Eva here. Doing 360. He's creating his own 360 bike, what he's doing. Little did we know the whole time Apache was the 360 bike all along.
And wait, look at these two. Didn't quite make it. Okay, I can approve Apache's use of the 360 meme. And of course, using Eva as the punching bag. So, bike segment is done for Apache. Spartyy, I think he's got probably like another few minutes to go on his. Okay, yeah, he's just getting into the hovercraft section, so he's still got a little bit to go. So, at this point, Apache's going to be feeding Eva the instant noodles, while healing only her injuries, since that is the minimum you need to do in order to advance. Snake's injuries at this point are irrelevant, since some of it will heal on their own, and wow, look at that, it's just like, just gave Eva a slightly like friendly jab. It's like, yep, later Eva. But anyway, so yeah, so you heal her injuries. Snake's injuries will heal on their own, which, again, for what you're getting into after this, his HP, it's not really as big of a concern, especially since he still has that life med on reserve if he needs it. But at this point, it's just kind of escorting Eva around through the forest, followed by a second section. And then, as you can see on Sparty's screen, since he's still using the Cold War camo, if you're facing the front of an enemy, they will not shoot you because it shows the Soviet Union flag emblem, but it has the US flag on the back. So you can actually use that to your advantage here. And at the same time, since his health was just high enough, he just allowed Eva to run into the log. She'll make fun of you for it, but it's like, hey, you know what, Eva? We don't care. We're just saving time here.
This is true, but this is something that Spartyy was talking about doing. Using the life med to your advantage, using it as your health as a resource to tank that log, especially combined with the Cold War camo, means that those platform guards are really not shooting at you all that much because they're not going to shoot their own flag. So I think that actually might be faster. You lose about probably 4 or 5 seconds to equipping the camouflage, but that room is super laggy. Because it's just super laggy. There's a lot going on. Rain effects. The spotlights on the platforms are bad. RPG shots especially are going to lag you a lot. So overall, it might be faster to actually go ahead and do the Cold War camo like he just did and tank that log. That's very interesting. I'll have to time that. But we see now Apache is going into the final room with guards. The biggest thing here is to keep Eva moving as much as you can. You really don't want to get her paused at all. Apache's been doing a pretty good job of that. Might have just noticed he took out these 2 guards by shooting in between the tree and the rock. Trees aren't exactly tree-shaped. Their hitboxes are more big rectangles, so the guards can't really see through them all that well, as you can see.
Also, another meme-worthy moment, shooting the Keraton, also approved.
That actually used to be a strat. I mean, technically it still is if you want to. It really makes not much of a difference.
Yeah.
But people would use the Keraton making noise as a distraction for those 2 guards instead of shooting them. The only reason I shoot the guards is because it lets me force Eva to take a better line. If you shoot the guards, basically, well, if you want Eva to take a good line, it's not possible to shoot the Keraton quickly enough to actually alert those guards. So you have to shoot them, basically.
All right, so I think Apache's dealt with the last set of guards he's got to deal with for the rest of the run. Which at this point is just going to be a one-on-one fight with the boss. Which hopefully you'll get to see the boss loop. Which I didn't quite see how yours went, Major.
Good. Yeah, we'll not talk about it. That's good.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah, I don't want to try to reopen any ones. But it's just it's a very... The structure to loop, it seems simple, but it's very easy for it to fail. Where you just, have a really rough time of it. I still struggle with it from time to time, especially where, some of my shots just don't connect. But we'll get to see it first by Apache. So first thing, he's going to move forward a little bit, and he's going to counter her CQC with his own. As soon as she makes contact with you, just press and hold down circle or whatever your CQC button is. If you're like on Xbox controls, for example. Then he's going to shoot her twice, throw her down.
Ooh, he missed the CQC. So he's gonna have to revert to backup here. We're seeing similar failings in the rooms as we did in the previous runs.
See, he's still got a charge out of her, but yeah, that is going to be costly because he's not going to be doing as much damage as he would have with the added use of a stun. Because then I would almost expect the loop to be broken here. Yeah, so he's taking cover because he knows that the loop is lost. Because you ideally want to, mix in shots with the Mosin, throwing a stun in the air, letting her rub her eyes for a little bit, following it up with another 2 shots of the Mosin with a second stun, and then you get a second charge, which then leads into what would be like ending the fight, which he's going to just do here, since I imagine he's just going to be... Okay, he's just going to play it safe with the Mosin, do 2 shots, and get a little bit of a late CQC, but that is time for Spartyy, since it's last hit on the boss. My timer was a little bit late since I was just double-checking who was who. And, of course, he's giving us the grand old salute with the officer's outfit. The meme continues. So, yeah, GG's to Apache. It was definitely an interesting race, and Major, I don't know how you felt about the twists and turns that we saw, but I did not anticipate it to this extent.
I definitely didn't either. It's really unfortunate to see some of the mistakes that happened this time, and then also some of the... Oh no, Spartyy! Oh, Spartyy! That is so unfortunate. So what he was doing there is he was doing that thing I said, where you can shoot the guards in between the tree and they won't really see you. But the problem is, if you miss that shot and hit the wall, the guards are instantly going to try to run for cover, and one of the guards is going to run straight towards you, and he's going to alert on you. I keep telling people this, but people keep not doing it. What you got to do is you got to shoot the guards in the body, which will get their attention, stop them in place, and give you easy headshots, so you will never miss. What he tried to do was go for a headshot on a small target on a moving target. Really not a good setup. You run the big risk of doing exactly what just happened, hitting the wall, and then taking an alert just like that, and it's that easy, right?
Yeah,
It's that easy.
Hey, welcome Apache. GG's, dude.
Hey
GG?
guys, I didn't play well today, but I'm gonna play better tomorrow.
Look at Sparty's teabag in the guard. It's like, yeah, they ought to teach you.
Well, that's kind of how first races are, right, Apache? It's always the first races are the weakest.
Yeah, I think like as well with it being Friday, you know, I've been at work today and stuff. I'm just feeling a bit tired. I felt like my hands just wouldn't do what I wanted them to do. You know what I mean? Like,
Oh yeah.
if you saw how I played yesterday, like a big difference. I think I had something like 9 continues. I had them at like crazy, like the craziest places as well. But
Yeah.
Spartyy just got
but
more
I think
unfortunate than me, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I think we all failed Warehouse 2, as well as a bunch of other lists of things. But yeah, yesterday I played really clean, maybe a continue or two. Today, complete polar opposite. And it just, again, it goes to show, like, you never know what to expect in this game, whether if you've done it, you know, one time, a few times, a lot of times. I mean,
Yeah, I'm curious.
like,
I'm very curious to see how you and Spartyy will do in this here race now, with both of you having had a bit of a warm up and sort of like, I feel like you get your bearings right. It's like you think about a room and then you make a touch too much one way, and then you're like, you know, next time I'm gonna not get an alert here because I feel like I can get the right path this time. I'm interested to see that race.
Yeah, that's the race that everybody was waiting for. Spartyy v Joe.
it's a grudge
Unfortunate to see you
rematch.
guys. Yeah, grudge rematch. Unfortunate to see you guys in the losers bracket, but still going to be a very exciting race. Nonetheless, that puts you both back in the back in the running to win the whole tournament, because the losers bracket, of course, the victor of the losers bracket can go up against the victor of the winners bracket.
All right, so you can see Sparty's doing the same thing. It's just doing 2 lead shots with a stun in the air. It's going to let her rubberize for a little bit, followed by 1, 2 headshots, another slam to the ground, then a second stun. Turn around, do another 2 shots. Okay, then a third slam. Now, the stuns only work up to this point twice. They do not work a third time because they're... I guess, again, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think because their stamina is so low at this point that you can't use like the same method over and over again. Even with the CQC counters, it only works so many times throughout the fight, and that is going to be time for...
That's very interesting. Look, he didn't pick up the snake camouflage. Hey, Spartyy,
Okay.
GG's, boys.
the complimentary teabag at the end. Oh my god, I love this community. But yeah, GG's for both you guys. See if Spartyy will join us. Yeah, what's up, Spartyy?
Yeah, this run went to shit after what happened with the end. Like, it just snowballed from there. Because I guess my timing was off when I came out like from the menu, and then I had to waste all my ammo to continue at mountains trying to get more ammo, and then suppressor wore off trying to shoot guards, and
But you know, I don't think any of us had like a clean run today. Like, if that makes it any better, especially again, we all failed Warehouse 2 in many different ways.
Yeah.
Every time I got a continue Spartyy, I looked at you and you were getting a continue in the exact same place, so we just stayed at the same pace for ages. Like, I was ahead, but every time I made a mistake, you did as well.
You know, like it was synced at one point between you guys. Like, I don't remember what was Major, but like it was early on in the Snake Eater portion. You guys were synced. Like, you were making mistakes, and
Bolshaya passed south.
Bolshaya's passed south. Then we had Warehouse 2. And it's just like, my God, what is going on today with this game?
I was fine with the...
Just because of time constraints, I will wrap it up before we get anywhere near the IGT. I mean, no one needs to see the IGTs from this race anyway. And Joe and Spartyy are going to be racing next, and they're going to want to prepare for that as much as they want to talk rubbish to you guys in the post game interview. I will wrap it up in a couple of minutes just to keep it moving. and give
Yeah.
these guys 5 minutes to collect themselves and all that.
Yeah, I look forward to our grudge rematch, Spartyy.
I think everyone is most hype for the Spartyy versus Joe matchup, so we're really looking forward to this one. Any final words before I move us on?
You know who's really hyped for this Spartyy versus Joe matchup? Warehouse 2.
Let's just skip Warehouse 2.
You guys can just load a save. You have my permission.
You need
Yeah,
the Warehouse 2 skip. Appel, where's the Warehouse 2 skip for HD Collection? We need
Yeah,
it.
can we just improvise a gentleman's agreement to just bypass Warehouse 2? Okay, thanks, bye.
You can use the stealth camo in that one room. Gentlemen's to no Warehouse 2. Society has moved past the need for Warehouse 2.
All right, I'm gonna hop off of hosting duties here so I can get ready and look forward to the next race.
Yeah, we'll give these guys about 5 minutes. Thanks for sticking with us. Next will be our final match of the evening, which is Spartyy versus